I was around music my whole life. My mom and pop had like a huge record collection, so I started out listening to music early on, and I would just write music, and I just had a love from it, from there. I didn't get to it, I got caught into my neighborhood and my surroundings, but I've always taken it with me, and I've always went back to it, and then just got to a point where it was like, make this decision. This is something you really love and you love to do. It's time to really focus on it and to get serious about it, and give it your all. And once I did that, it was no looking back from there.
And you were able to overcome where you grew up, as you once put it. You saw what happened and things like drug dealing, where the life would end, and you decided at some point, I'm not going there.
Yeah, those sort of decisions that happen in, many of our lives, when we're faced with those fork in the road moments, and I was around people, and I was seeing people, really genuinely nice people, going away for 13 years, and all these unjust and Rockefeller laws, and I was just around that so much that I would just told myself, man, I have to make a decision at some point. And I made this decision to focus on music, which was my love, and it worked out.
Consistency. People have a love of music. They may do 1 or 2 or 3 albums, and then for some reason they fade away. That hasn't happened to you.
I think again, it goes back to a bit of what Warren was saying as well. Like, it's the discipline as well, the discipline to not get caught up in the moment. Music is like stocks too. There's the hot thing of the moment. There's this hot electro sound, or the hot auto-tune voice, or the hot whatever's new and exciting, and people tend to make emotional decisions based on that. They don't stick with what they know. This is who I am. This is what I do, and then they jump on this next hot thing, and it's not for you. So for me, just having the discipline and having the confidence that in who I am. And if I go into a studio and if I find my truth of the moment, there are a number of people in the world that can relate to what I'm saying, and it's gonna buy into what I'm doing. Not because it's the new thing of the moment, but because it's my genuine emotions. It's how I feel. It's how I articulate the world. And just having the discipline to just be yourself.
Because you once said, as an artist, you are fighting against everything that's new and everyone's fascinations with new things.
Yeah, shiny things.
And
people fall in love with shiny things.
So in essence, as you grow older, you bring an audience with you because the topic of your music grows with you.
Right. Right.
So it never doesn't go stale.
Yeah, because for hip hop is like 30 years old. Like, hip hop is fairly a new genre of music. So we've never seen, the maturation of hip hop, in this sort of way. This never happened before. People would get a certain age and still try to pinpoint this, young demographic, because hip hop was a young man sport. But, people that listen to hip hop when they're 18, they still gonna like hip hop when they're 28. It's just that the voices in hip hop are not speaking directly to them anymore. They weren't. They were speaking to a 18-year-old demographic. So, you're 28, you don't have anything to listen to because no one's relating to you. So, my whole thing was, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna make, the music that I love to make and that I want to make, and I'm gonna mature with my music. And, luckily for me, it was the right decision.
When did you realize that not only did you have this ability with music and not to get stale, but recognize too, you have to be treated also, even though you love it, as a business, so that you don't end up, as so many do, they lose everything they have. They're in effect a denture to companies, and they're not masters of their fate.
Yeah, that was the greatest trick in music that people ever pulled off, is to convince artists that you can't be an artist and make money. I think the people that were making millions actually set that. I think they set that whole thing up. You know, it was almost like shameful, like especially in rock and roll. You had to pretend that, you know, you got these millionaire guys who had to pretend as if they weren't successful at all, or it would be like a detriment to their career. You know, hip hop from the beginning, you know, it was always been aspirational. You know, just always broke that thing. You know, that thing that an artist can't think as well. And I think at the end of the day, as long as when you separate the two and you're not making music with business in mind, because you at some point it has to be real when they touch it, when they listen to it. You know, something has to resonate with them that's real. As long as when you're in the studio, you're an artist, you make music, and then after you finish, you market it to the world. We were forced in the beginning. I wish I could say we were geniuses and said we're going to start our own company. You know, that's not what happened. You know, in the beginning, we went to every single label, and every single label shut their door on us. The genius thing that we did was we didn't give up. We didn't say, because these guys, you know, we use that what do they know approach. You know, we didn't give up at that point. I think that, you know, that was the genius thing we did. We started selling our own CDs, and we built our own buzz, and then the record company came back to us. So now we had a different negotiation. You know, it wasn't the same artist label relationship. Now we retain ownership in our own company.